SHOT Show is one of the largest tactical trade shows in the world. It's heavily focused on firearms, law enforcement, and military gear. And that's not really what this channel is about. On my channel, I focus on urban emergency preparedness. Things like medical gear, lighting, communications, backpacks, surveillance, sanitation, and everyday preps that actually make sense for normal people living in cities and suburbs. So when I come to SHOT Show, I'm not walking booth to booth looking for weapons. I'm looking for hidden gems. Products and companies that most tactical channels walk right past, but that quietly solve real preparedness problems. With some help from Uncle Pancho, who was great at pointing out booths that deserved more attention, I narrowed everything down to my top 20 hidden prepper gems. These aren't ranked by hype or popularity. They are grouped by category based on how they fit into real-world preparedness. Let's get started. Starting off first, we have the UltaLink system from UltaClip. UltaLink is a rapid attachment modular linking system that lets you quickly attach, remove, and reattach gear like sheaths and medical items. You could easily move gear between MOLLE, belts, packs, or even transfer it from person to person without rebuilding your setup. The locking system offers multiple attachment angles, so you could carry gear horizontally, vertically, or diagonally, depending on your needs. From a preparedness standpoint, this is about modularity and adaptability, not just retention. Next, we have Nano Oil. SHOT Show is full of lubricants. Everyone has one. What stood out about Nano Oil wasn't just the product, it was my interaction with the representative. The representative was kind enough to oil up my Benchmade bug out right there on the show floor, which I really appreciated. That's what made me take a closer look. Nano Oil penetrates deeply, and unlike something like WD-40, it doesn't just evaporate or disappear. It actually stays where you apply it. From a preparedness standpoint, this is something I'd want on hand for knives, tools, locks, hinges, and anything that might seize up during long-term storage or harsh conditions. Next, we have Dry Out, which is moisture protection for electronics. This was one of those products that I had to stop and think about. At first glance, it looks simple, but the more I thought about real-world preparedness, the more sense it made. Dry Out provides moisture-absorbing protection for electronics and hard goods. If you've ever stored radios, power banks, optics, or backup electronics in vehicles, basements, or outdoor environments, you know how damaging humidity could get over time. From a preparedness standpoint, this makes a lot of sense for communications gear, especially in wet or humid environments. It actively pulls moisture away from sensitive equipment, which I thought was an important upgrade. It's one of those products you don't think about until you lose gear to corrosion. The next category of items is for medical, light, and personal safety. Starting off first with the Snake Staff Systems EDC Tourniquet. This one came from a nice moment during the show. I met the tactical rabbi, and we ended up doing an EDC check on each other. He showed me his tourniquet from Snake Staff Systems, and I immediately noticed how small it was. Most tourniquets are effective, but bulky. They're hard to EDC unless you're using a pouch. This one could fit in your pocket without drawing attention, which I thought was awesome. As we know, a tourniquet only works if you actually have it on you. As soon as I saw this, I ordered one for myself online, and you'll probably see it in an upcoming video. Next, we have the Streamlight Wedge SL, which is a flat EDC flashlight. There were a lot of flashlights at SHOT Show: Nightcore, Phoenix, Olight, and plenty more. The one that really stood out to me was the Streamlight Wedge SL. I've honestly never seen a flat profile EDC light shaped like a carpenter's pencil before. It's thin, pocket friendly, and doesn't scream tactical. This one has a great form factor and would be easy to carry for EDC purposes. Next up is the Faraday Defense RFID blocking card. We've actually done a dedicated video on this, but it's still worth including here because it's such a simple and effective everyday prep. It helps protect your credit cards and IDs from wireless skimming by blocking RFID and NFC signals. And it just lives in your wallet without adding bulk. It's one of those low effort, high value items that make a lot of sense for urban preparedness. Next, let's go over to the Mirror Safety booth. We were brought to SHOT Show by Mirror Safety, and they had a lot of impressive gear. The standout for me this year was their new MD1 gas mask for kids. In the past, I've tested kids' gas masks that frankly weren't great. Some used rubber head nets that pulled out hair, which was honestly a little traumatic for my kids when we did our testing. The MD1 is a huge improvement. It's lighter, more comfortable, and uses a proper harness system that actually works. Again, the Mirror Safety MD1 Kids Gas Mask. Next, we have Tech-Tite strobes. When I saw these immediately made me think of flood and tsunami preparedness. They specialize in marine distress and marking strobes, and they have a wide range of options that don't rely on apps or fragile electronics. I'm actually working on a flood preparedness video after the recent flooding that happened in Western Washington. And these Tech-Tite strobes would be a great addition for a flooding preparedness kit. The next section is for surveillance and intelligence. Starting off first with the Tacticam Reveal cellular cameras. We saw a lot of cameras at SHOT Show, but the Reveal cell cameras from Tacticam stood out as the most feature-rich. These are cellular, GPS-enabled infrared cameras that don't require Wi-Fi. I thought that opened up a lot of preparedness use cases for things like bug-out locations, vacant properties, evacuation monitoring, and situational awareness when you're away from home. The rep was extremely knowledgeable, and all of the systems were very cool. Next, we have the Night Ride vehicle thermal cameras. These caught my attention for evacuation scenarios involving smoke, fog, darkness, or chaotic conditions. Being able to distinguish people, animals, and obstacles in extreme situations could be critical. I talked with the president of the company named Mary, who is incredibly nice, and we had a great conversation about real-world use cases. Again, the Night Ride vehicle thermal cameras. The next category is for sustainment, hygiene, and morale. Starting off first with the Grail French press. This was one of my favorite items that I saw at SHOT Show. We had a great time talking at the booth with the Grail representatives. The Grail French press just makes sense with their GeoPress system. I've used instant coffee for years in kits, but being able to make a real French press coffee using a system that I already trust for water purification is a major upgrade. Coffee is great for morale, so it's one of those small things that can make a stressful situation more manageable. Next is the Sea to Summit Pocket Trowel. I'm currently finalizing my Urban Bug Out Bag 3.0, and I was actually looking to replace my sanitation shovel. The reinforced nylon pocket trowel from Sea to Summit is lightweight, compact, and exactly what I needed. Sea to Summit is always my go-to when I want to reduce weight without sacrificing function. Next is the Lava Gel Oven. I recently did a featured video on the Lava Gel Oven, but I think it's worth revisiting in this video. This provides a flame-free, fume-free heating option for evacuation kits and emergency shelters. If you're in an enclosed space, lighting a stove isn't always ideal, so this gives you another option. It was great talking with Dan, the founder and CEO, and I'm looking forward to using this in various emergency kits. To go along with that, we have the Bridgeford Meal Ready sandwiches. They were genuinely good. We tried a ton of their different sweet and savory options. They last up to 3 years, require no prep, and pair well with the Lava Gel Oven. I'll be doing a dedicated review of the Bridgeford Meal Ready sandwiches fairly soon. Now let's go over some mechanical oddities. I already did a dedicated video on this one, but the CRKT Provoke X folding axe was really cool. It's expensive and probably not especially practical, so it might be more of a collector's piece. But I've never seen a quick deploy folding axe that could fit in a pocket before. Mechanically, I thought it was fascinating, so that alone made it worth including in this list. Again, the CRKT Provoke X morphing axe. Next, we had the Mojo backpack stand. I walked by this and thought it was super clever. Basically, it lifts your bag off wet ground instantly. Let's check it out in more details. All right, we're over here at Mojo Bag Stands, and this is a really unique product. I haven't seen anything like it before. We met Dustin over here, and he was showing it off. So what do we have?
So yeah, it attaches to just about any type of bag. Twist the handle, and you got a nice bag stand. Set down anywhere, so it's up elevated, keeping it clean, keeping it accessible. And then when you're ready to go, just pick it up, fold it up, and you're ready to roll.
And it's super light. You said 2 pounds for this?
2.5 pounds.
Yeah, so the people on my channel, they have emergency like backpacks, like a bug out bag or large first aid kits and things like that. It'd be perfect for this so you're not on your knees. And it's not sitting on the ground too.
Exactly.
It's really cool. So you can get this online directly from the site or Amazon?
Go to mojogear.com.
Mojogear.com?
Yep. And that's Mojo with an H.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll put a link in the description box. Check it out. The next category is for mobility, crowd control, and infrastructure. One of the most interesting mobility platforms I saw at SHOT Show was the Trike Positron. Police departments and private security teams across the U.S. are using the Positron as a fully electric personal patrol vehicle. It's quiet, efficient, and operates at a fraction of the cost of traditional patrol cars. I was super impressed with the mobility of this personal electric vehicle. The demo rider was doing all sorts of crazy sharp turns at SHOT Show. The Positron can move on streets and sidewalks, elevate the rider above crowds, and cover more ground with less fatigue. From a preparedness standpoint, this is probably not something that the average person would buy. This is going to be more for police departments and private security teams. Another interesting mobility platform I saw was the Batku Moto, which offers silent off-road mobility. These are electric off-road bikes built for rugged terrain with serious torque and an awesome chassis. I like the idea of having this as a bug out bike because of how quiet they are. There's no engine noise, no exhaust, just silent movement. These are marketed towards hunters, but I still thought that the preparedness use case was there. Silent mobility allows access to off-road areas, alternate routes, and remote terrain when roads are blocked or compromised. These aren't cheap at around $7,000 and probably not for everyone. But again, it was another sign of where mobility is heading. Electric, capable, and discreet. Again, the Baku Moto. Super cool. Another cool product that I saw was the Block Access Hostile Vehicle Mitigation System. This is another one of those ones that's probably not for personal use, but more for police departments and security teams. Block Access is a hostile vehicle mitigation system designed to prevent vehicles from entering pedestrian-only areas. They're used to protect crowds at large events, critical infrastructure, and other high-risk public spaces. What I really liked about this one was how quickly and simple the system could be deployed. It's modular, can be set up by a single person, and doesn't rely on temporary plastic or water-filled barriers that are easy to breach. And the last hidden gem that I saw at SHOT Show was Goat Guns. This wasn't even a booth. I just ran into the owners. Goat Guns makes non-functional miniature collectible replicas. Anthony, the owner, has been a longtime urban prepper supporter, and he was kind enough to send me a box of these recently. So I figured I should return the favor with a little shout out. As you know, I don't cover firearms on this channel, but these are clearly collectibles. More like Hot Wheels or Transformers for people in the tactical culture. It's a family-run business, and I was impressed with what they've built. The quality is super cool, and it would make a great gift for anyone with a tactical mind. Again, at number 20 for hidden gems at SHOT Show, we have Goat Guns. Those are my top 20 hidden prepper gems. SHOT Show might be a tactical event, but if you know where to look, there's a lot of practical, everyday preparedness gear hiding in plain sight. If you liked this video and found it helpful, let me know which one of these prepper gems stood out to you the most. I've got links to my website and my email newsletter down in the description box if you want to stay connected. That's going to do it for this video featuring some of the hidden gems that I was able to find here at SHOT Show. Please leave your comments below in the comments section and stay tuned for more urban emergency preparedness videos. See you next time.